So welcome to you. Thanks for coming into the studio. So it seems like, you know, a sheer numbers game. You have this massive population. People are getting wealthier, traveling more. Can you possibly go wrong buying into Chinese airlines?
Well, I think at this time of moment, right, we're basically look at the valuation, and then we feel our mega bullish stance on the Chinese airlines can actually stand at a very high conviction. Given valuation is still at mid-cycle, they're basically trading at a mean price to book compared to the last 5 to 10 years time. And then profitability-wise, we are seeing a 30% return on equity from Air China and China Southern Airlines. And China Eastern could actually do like 60% given the relatively small book value per share.
Mega bullish. So which are the companies that are the best managed?
Well, I think management-wise, Air China has been basically gained the most respect, right? China Eastern, however, is seeing the most significant improvement after the management reshuffle and the combination with Shanghai Airlines, as well as capital infusion from the government a year ago.
Now, you say investors are underestimating these airlines and that valuations are low.
Underestimated, yeah.
So what kind of upside do you see? I mean, you said 30% for Air China over the course of the rest of the year and perhaps next.
ROE-wise. I think we, during our recent research, we have actually estimated the second quarter net profits of the big three airlines like 80% higher than the first quarter.
Okay.
So, as you just said, 6-month profit can exceed peak 2007 level on the 12-month period of time, and the full year 2010 profit can actually triple 2007, which was the historical peak.
Right, and which was, of course, before the financial crisis. Now, the Chinese economy is slowing, so how is that going to impact passenger numbers on these airlines?
Yeah. So the other major reason for us to keeping the buy recommendations on the airlines is because we believe earnings visibility has well extended into 2011. Economy is slowing, but if you look at the structural changes of China economy growth, it's going to be increasingly more dependent on consumption. So during the structural boom of consumption, we actually believe the airlines will continue to do very well in 2011. Right. But 2012, I'm actually quite nervous. I think the high-speed railway is going to be a major overhang, and that's the reason why we are seeing like 20% RPK growth, but at the same time, the airlines keep very cautious when they make aircraft orders.
So these big infrastructure projects happening in China, the high-speed railways could take some passengers away from the airlines.
Yes.
But that's because the airlines are mainly flying within China at the moment. I mean, are they upping their international routes?
For Air China, it has basically been generating 40% of its revenue from international, so it's going to be relatively less vulnerable. China Southern is like 85% domestic, and that is perhaps the area we'll be most worried about.
Do you see Air China or any of these other players ever becoming a big, major international airline? Is the safety up to it? Is the service up to it?
Safety-wise, I think they have been doing, delivering a very good track record. But customer experience, passenger experience, we can say there's still a lot to improve in terms of services and products.
And very quickly, what about Chinese aircraft makers? We've been reporting from Farnborough that the Boeing Airbus duopoly is under threat. Is there a possibility that we might see a Chinese company getting a piece of the pie?
Yeah, I think increasingly it's going to be, given this is a strategic focus of the central government, and given they basically have a huge and rapidly growing domestic market, I think the tomorrow is actually very bright, but in the short term, we think the ability for them to gain a global pie is still relatively small.
Okay, Ali Ma from Citigroup Global Markets.